Happy Boxing Day, day after Christmas, whatever you're celebrating. As I mentioned before, I ordered this outrack from a company called Land Rover Passion in Milan. This has been sitting here at my father's for about 3 weeks. And now we're going to take it apart, unbox it, and hopefully get it on the Range Rover. So it came flat packed. It looks pretty straightforward. Probably going to take about an hour to put together. Crossbars, side bars, and then the frame that actually bolts on top of the roof. So let me go ahead and unbox this, take it all apart, lay it all out, and then I will walk you through what all the components are, and then probably go through with my father and stick it on time lapse so you don't have to watch us put this together, and then come back to you just before we get it lifted onto the Range Rover. Talk to you soon. So we finished the frame and the side brackets are on. Took about 45 minutes. Unfortunately, these side brackets that bolt the top of the frame to the vehicle need to be spaced out. And we followed the spacing rules. Unfortunately, the holes don't line up. So inside of these spacing bars, here, there are some Allen keys with some inserted square bolts on the end of here that slide into these tubes. We're going to have to undo all of these loosely and then put the side frames on. There's actually bolts to the car, but they don't line up, and I think we've probably measured it incorrectly. They do at the end, but they don't on these bars. So as you can see, they're all out. So I went around and nipped them all up, and unfortunately I'm going to have to go around and do it all again. But anyway, live and learn. Didn't take that long. Instructions are brilliant. If you notice me running off that way, that was to go to the iPad and look at the instructions. But it's really well built, good quality. I'm going to go get something to eat and then come back and loosen all these up and we'll go again. So the roof rack is on from start to finish. It probably took us about 2 hours. We took a couple of breaks. A couple of tips: the side panels, in the instructions it asks you to leave them all loosely put on, but it tries to figure out, because the roof is not symmetrical, meaning is the roof rails are not straight, they recommend setting the rail, and I'll show you, which is this piece here. They recommend keeping that 40 millimeters away from the edge of the rack, and on the back end 80. So we followed that, measured it, bolted it down. They didn't fit, so we had to go back and loosen the bolts on these side risers to make sure it fitted into the 6 bolts that are in the roof. So there's a little bit of trial and error, but yes, it was pretty easy. Like I said, 2 hours to do it, start to finish, I guess. Even with the time lapse, you can see that it was fairly easy following the instructions to be able to do it. Pretty impressed with it. It's fairly low profile, especially for a Range Rover, and you can probably see, hopefully you can see, it's got a wind deflector on it as well, so the wind deflector is only millimeters above the actual roof itself, which is pretty good. So yeah, pretty happy with it. Nice and flat. You mount things through eyelets in the center of the cross rails, and they're really easy to do. So my Cargo Bear rooftop tent tray will fit nicely into that, and then all the other ancillaries that I might bolt onto the roof will fit as well. So I'm pretty happy with it. It's about the only rack I could find without shipping stuff from the States for a fortune. But you can clearly see in the mist and gloom out here, plenty of room, just about fits the underneath the shark's tail. But yeah, pretty easy to do, straightforward. A couple of hours gives you a good idea what it looks like. So that is the Land Rover Passion out rack, low profile, slim profile, whatever you call it, roof rack for the L322. And part of the external modifications continue. The rooftop tent will go on it, but that's sitting in the Defender, which is in there, hiding away, will not start, because for some reason the key has decided to shit out its battery, and so the immobilizer won't work. Fun and games, but yeah, pretty happy with it. It's been pissing down with rain all day, but as you can see, it's beginning to take shape. And the L322 has been turned into some form of curb princess to pseudo off-roader. A couple of more videos to come. The fridge is in the back of the slide, but I'm not going to tease you too much with that. I will do that tomorrow. The weather's supposed to improve, so I'll walk you through everything that's been done with that. That's all fixed. And on we go. I'll talk to you on the next one. Cheers.